What is up, everybody? It's Cody with Blood Money MMA Bets, and I'm back with another full card prediction. This is for Dana White Contender Series Week 2 on Season 8, and it's going to be a pretty good fight card. The 5 fights we have on here have some pretty good level of competition. All the fighters have fought some pretty good people. The first fight of the night, Billy Brand and Cody Haddon's very good fight. It should be the main event, in my opinion, over the main event that we have, but they never put the little guys in the main event. But it's going to be a really good fight card. It's going to be fun to break down. If you haven't been to my channel yet, this is Blood Money MMA Bets. My name's Cody, and I break down and predict all the fights and give out my best picks and best bets for each fight card. Dana White Contender Series I've been doing lately, and then I always do UFC. But if you want to follow me and get my UFC bets and my Contender Series bets throughout the week, check me out on Twitter under Blood Money MMA Bets, and that's where I post all my bets throughout the week and just a bunch of additional content. I also have a Patreon where I post my early bets, a bunch of extra content like 10 best bets of the week and all different kinds of stuff. So if you want to check any of that stuff out, links in the description. I also have Underdog Fantasy. If you play fantasy sports for football, baseball, MMA, boxing, whatever, you can do the championship modes. You can do like the over-unders on how many strikes are landed, how many takedowns, all that. It's really fun. If you want to check that out and get a bonus up to $250 of bonus bucks, check out the link below for Underdog Fantasy, and it's Blood Money. Blood Money is the promo code, or you can just use the link. And like I said, you'll get a big deposit bonus, and it's fun, and you'll be helping support my channel. Like I said, this Dana White Contender Series card's really good, man. It's got some pretty good fights on it. It's got some people that's definitely going to end up in the UFC. So, let's just get right into this fight card. First fight of the night is going to be Billy Brand versus Cody Haddon, and this is going to be an excellent fight in the men's bantamweight division. Billy Brand is 5-1. Currently sitting at plus 140. The good thing about all my breakdowns that I did for this is I did my tape study and my breakdowns before any lines were out. So, I just made picks based off the fighters, which I always do anyways, but usually I know the lines, but I'm still going to pick the best fighter. But it's better to break it down without having the lines. But yeah, Billy Brand is 5-1, 28 years old, 5'6", reach is not available. And then you got Cody Haddon fighting out of Australia, 6-1. Currently sitting at minus 175, 25 years old, 5'7", with a 69.7-inch reach. And this is going to be a good fight because both these dudes are well-rounded junkyard dogs. Billy Brand is fighting out of Team Alpha Male. He's got an excellent Muay Thai background, and he's mixed in his wrestling with it very well. You've seen in a couple of his fights, he's had some really good wars. He had a war with Peyton Talbot where he ended up getting KO'd late in the third, but man, he had Talbot hurt. They went back and forth. It was a really good fight. And then this James Goodry that he got the decision over, that was a really good fight too. And that guy was like the California Fighter of the Year in 2022. So he's had some pretty good stiff competition, but Billy Brand's a junkyard dog. Excellent Muay Thai, really good leg kicks. He throws volume leg kicks. His grappling seems to check out offensive and defensive wrestling, and it's only going to be improving there at Team Alpha Male. But yeah, junkyard dog, and went life and death with Peyton Manning, man. That's pretty good. And he talks crap during the fights. He's a fun fighter. Cody Haddon, he's got a extensive amateur boxing background, and you can tell when he fights, man, he's throwing combos. He works the body very well. He's got pretty good power in his hands. His only loss was to Steve Erceg, and they had a really good back and forth fight up at 135, and he got beat, but he put on a pretty good showing, and it was only his third pro fight. But he's had some decent fights since then. Paul Loga, who's an Australian fighter on the regional scene that's got some pretty decent power, but lost to like all the good Australian fighters. He was able to rear naked choke him in the second, which is a decent win. And then, like I said, fought Steve Erceg and had some pretty good fights, pretty extensive amateur background. And his wrestling looked pretty good against Erceg, his defensive and offensive wrestling and grappling. This is a very good fight. This is going to be a very good fight. I'm actually going to go with the underdog here. Give me Billy Brand, even though I know it's going to be a freaking good fight and that Cody Haddon might be a little bigger. I like Brand's kicks, man. I think he's that both of their grappling will cancel out, and then you're going to have Cody Haddon throwing some good punches. But man, Billy Brand's got some good punches, good spinning stuff, and then he's got a lot of leg kicks. So I think that he can win this just on being a junkyard dog with excellent cardio and throwing a lot of volume and maybe even hitting a big shot on Cody Haddon. So yeah, that's going to be the best fight on the card, in my opinion. It should be the main event, but they don't do that with these little dudes. Next fight is in the men's middleweight division. We got Cam Ruston versus Torres Finney. Cam Ruston is 8-2, currently sitting at plus 325, 29 years old, 6'2", reach unavailable, trains out of City Kickboxing in New Zealand. And then you got Torres Finney, who's 8-0, minus 450, 25 years old, 5'8", with the 75.5-inch reach. And Cam Ruston, man, he's a kickboxer. He's a tall, long kickboxer. He's got good leg kicks. He's got okay grappling, but he's fought the worst competition in the world, so hard telling if his grappling really is good. Anytime he's fought anybody decent, he's lost. He lost to Jacob Malkoun when they were both low level, 1-0 and 0-0. And then he lost to this dude, Issy Fatufi or whatever. And then since then, if you go look, he's never beat a guy with the winning record. He's never beat 3-6, 0-0, 1-1, 4-9, 3-3. 1-2, 0-1, 0-2. He's never beat a guy with the winning record. He's basically beaten up, guys that aren't good. He's finished them all, but I just can't respect that. Torres Finney, man, this dude was on the Contender Series last year. I don't know how he didn't get a contract. If you go watch his fight with the Russian dude, that dude was actually pretty good, and he was able to finish Yuri in the second round with rear naked choke. And that Yuri dude was good grappling, good wrestling, and powerful striking. I have no clue. And Dana White was just giving out Contender Series contracts last year, like 100 of them or something like that. So, but Torres Finney, man, he doesn't really, he's the biggest muscular dude in the world, but he doesn't really like to strike. He doesn't strike too much. He can get hit, but he can take the shot, but he just wants to grapple you. He's got strong, powerful wrestling. He grabs a hold of you. He gets you against the cage. He picks you up. He slams you. And if he can't slam you right away, he's just going to wear on you on the cage until he can pick you up and slam you. When he gets on the ground, man, that's a dude you do not want on top of you. He doesn't stop moving, going for submissions, going for transitions, hitting you with ground and pound. I mean, he's a big dude doing this, and his cardio seems to check out. Like I said, he got that finish late in the second in his last fight. I think he dominates Cam Ruston here and finishes him. I don't think Ruston's ever been in the cage with anybody like Finney other than Jacob Malkoun back in the day. But yeah, man, I think Finney's gonna destroy the City kickboxer. So give me Finney. I'm going to take him by submission. Next fight's in the men's bantamweight division. We got Cortavius Ramos versus Michael Imperato. And this should be a banger while it lasts too. Cortavius is 8-2, currently sitting at minus 360, 30 years old, 5'4", with a 68-inch reach. Michael is 12-6, currently sitting at plus 250, 34 years old, 5'8", reach not available. So you see that Michael's going to be 4 inches taller, and the reach, he might have a little bit bigger reach being that much taller, but I don't know if Cortavius has a long reach. Cortavius, man, this kid's actually good. He didn't put on a good showing in his last his last Contender Series fight when he fought Ramon Tavares. Just came out throwing bombs, but that's really what he does in every fight. But he just got caught in that fight. But man, this kid throws serious power. He's super, super fast and explosive. Like, he's one of the fastest and explosive guys you're going to see. He'll come out throwing big shots, and hit you with some big shots to get you out if he can. If not, he'll take you down. And he's got excellent jiu-jitsu on top or off his back. I watched him sub Nate Richardson, who's a pretty good guy, man, and pretty well Nate Williams. I mean, and he's tough, durable, and well-rounded. He's got some decent wins, even though he's 14-10. And Cortavius was able to hurt him on the feet and then arm bar him from guard. So, man, he looked really good in that. He's physically strong. He's fought some really good competition, and just very fast, explosive, well-rounded, KO power on the feet, dangerous on the ground, and constantly going for that finish, man. Imperato, same thing, man. He's got decent striking. I've seen him get knocked out cold a couple times, but he's got decent wrestling, but really good jiu-jitsu, man. He's got 9 submission wins. He's got really good back takes and just dangerous on the ground. But standing, he's going to be at a major disadvantage here. He's 12-6. He's taken some KO losses. He's fought some decent competition up there in Canada. But in this fight, dude, I got to take Cortavius Ramos. I think he can knock him out standing up. I think that he could even submit him on the ground. I think that if Imperato thinks that he can just take Cortavius down and that's the way to beat him, I think he's going to be in for a long night there too. So I'm taking Cortavius Ramos. They're going to try to get him back in the UFC, get him 12, and trying to get him into the UFC, giving him a 12-6 guy, and I think it's going to work. I think Cortavius finishes this guy. Most of these fights weren't all that great on this card, to be honest, besides Billy Brand, and the main event should be really good too. But otherwise, it's kind of like, one dude to destroy the other. Next fight is in the men's heavyweight division. We got Rizvan Kuniev versus Hugo Cunha. And this This should be all right fight. Rizan is 12-2-1, 31 years old. He's sitting at minus 650, 6'4" with the 76-inch reach. Hugo Cunha is 8-1, 31 years old, 6'4", reach not available. Rizvan Kuniev, I don't know how he didn't get a contract either. He fought on, I think it was season 6. He fought, back in 2021, season 5, Edwin Santos, who was a big, giant dude, and he got the 3rd round ground and pound, took some decent shots, gave the dude shots back. And I don't know how he didn't get a contract either, but he's super well-rounded, man. He's a very well-rounded fighter out of Dagestan, Russia. He's got good striking, good kickboxing with both hands, both legs, throwing good strikes, strong clinch up against cage, strong wrestling, and then strong ground and pound. I mean, the dude's really good. His only losses are to UFC quality dudes early in his career. He lost to Darko Stosic and Justin Willis, who were both in the UFC. So them aren't bad losses. Hugo Cunha is a big dude. He's got decent striking. He's pretty tough. You know, he's got okay striking with some decent power, but it's not really good. He's more of a grappler, but like I said, his striking is not terrible, but it's not really what he wants to be doing. He's got okay wrestling, and he's got pretty good jiu-jitsu, and he's heavy on top if he can get on top. He's fought some okay competition, you know, in his career. He had that loss to Dustin Joinson, which dude's not that bad. And, you know, if he can't get the fight to the ground, he definitely has a problem. He was even getting beat up by Neves until he was able to get that fight to the ground and get that submission. See, in this fight, though, Rizvan's going to be better everywhere. So Rizvan, if he wants to keep this fight standing, he can keep it standing and win that striking match easily. And then I also believe that Rizvan's going to have the wrestling and grappling advantage here. So I'm going to take Rizvan. I'm going to be looking at the overs though, because he doesn't go crazy for the wins right away. And Hugo Cunha is very tough and durable. So I'm going to be looking at the overs in that fight. Not sure what the lines are on that, but give me Rizvan and at least over 1.5. Main event time. We got Pytlik versus Andres Gustafsson. Pytlik is 9-1, currently sitting at plus 210, 35 years old, 6'1", reach not available. Andres Gustafsson is 10-2, currently sitting at minus 270, 6 foot with a 74-inch reach. He's 33 years old. So our main event in the Contender Series has a 35-year-old and a 33-year-old middleweight, man. So I don't even know what we're doing here. But Pytlik, I'm sorry. He's got powerful Muay Thai, man. He's got real power in both hands. He's got powerful body and leg kicks. He's got strong knees to the body in the clinch. His grappling seems to be okay, even though I have seen him taken down and grappled in a couple of his fights. But when he gets up, he's usually able to finish them guys. But like them guys are usually lower level guys, like Mike Hill, and he smoked Ryan Leninger out with just punches, man. Just punched his face off. So he's tough, though. He's one of them tough Canadian dudes that's going to throw power with both hands, both legs, strong knees to the body, pretty good cardio. I just don't like the grappling downside in this game. Gustafsson, he's got powerful striking. He's got KO power in his hands. I've seen him KO guys with the first shot that he's thrown, and then he's also got strong wrestling and strong grappling. Lifelong wrestler, good jiu-jitsu. He actually has a really extensive amateur background, too, where he had a ton of fights. He had 12 amateur fights, only one loss, which is crazy. If you go check this dude out that he lost to in amateurs, Dismal Medzidayev or whatever. I don't know what the – come on, Tapology. I don't know what this dude's doing. 19-0 amateur record. The dude's 29 years old. He's 19-0 as an amateur, and he's got some really good wins over good guys just like this dude. But he never left the amateurs. He hasn't fought in 2.5 years, 29 years old. Why would you fight 20 times in the amateur? Why would you be 26 years old fighting in the amateurs when you're like 17-0? It doesn't make any sense. But that dude probably could have been really good, but he don't want to be great. So we got Gustafsson here, who is powerful, striking, like I said, KO power in both hands. He's very aggressive. He's going to come out and try to finish you from the opening bell. He's got strong wrestling, man, really strong wrestling. Heavy BJJ on top, good ground and pound, good submissions. He's got 7 KO wins, 2 submission wins, and his only 2 losses are by decision. This fight is going to be a style matchup. It's going to be basically striker versus grappler, even though Gustafsson has some striking. Pytlik's going to be better at striking for sure. And if Pytlik's able to stop the grappling altogether, he's going to be able to knock out Gustafsson. If he's able to at least stop the wrestling for after the first round, you know, he should be able to get the knockout, but I just don't see that happening. I see Gustafsson surviving the striking, landing some big shots of his own, and just grabbing the body, clinching him up against the cage, eventually landing the takedowns and wearing on him. So I'm going to take Gustafsson as the big favorite. I picked all everybody but Brand, man. The favorites here should win this week. You know, they really should. But this is the most dangerous fight of all the giant favorites, man. Because Pytlik is actually good, and he's very powerful, and he's tough. And if he can keep this fight standing, he's going to get the KO win. I see Gustafsson taking Pytlik down, though, and eventually subbing him. So I like the under. It's probably the under 2.5 in this fight because there is going to be some grappling. But I do like the under, and I like Andres Gustafsson. So this should be a pretty good Dana White Contender Series. Can't wait to watch it tomorrow night. I'm going to keep doing these breakdowns. We're going to have 8 more after this, and I'm going to have some time off of work and stuff, so I'm going to be able to keep doing these breakdowns. So I appreciate everybody that checks them out. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button on your way out if you haven't, and let me know if you like the content, man. But good luck tomorrow, and I will see you.